So today's video is for the PC gamers out there. We're going to be taking a look at two mice from Roccat, how they compare with each other, and which one is going to suit different groups of gamers. Roccat sent me these mice, so I didn't pay for them, but to give you some disclosure, I'm already a very big fan of their products. I currently own 3 of their Rios keyboards, 2 of them being 10 keyless models, and 1 of them had sweet coffee poured all over it, went through the dishwasher, and still works to this day. I have an original Kone mouse from about 3 years ago, a cross headset, and I'm currently using the Dpi mouse and the Suora FX keyboard on my main PC setup, so it's safe to say that I really do like their products. Now, the two mice they've sent me are both from their Kone range. They've sent me the larger EMP model and the smaller Pure Owli. Now, straight off the bat, this is a decision that PC gamers need to make when they're buying a mouse. What size do you go for, and what grips will those mice allow you to use? If you're someone with fairly large hands, then the EMP will work best. It's taller, wider, and longer, and that allows the palm of your hand to rest really comfortably on the rear curve, and your fingers can stretch all the way along the full length of the mouse. The EMP is going to be best for somebody who likes to use a palm grip. This is where literally the palm of your hand sits on the top of the mouse. It's got a really nice curve to it, it sits in your palm almost perfectly, and it's a really nice surface to support your hand. The second mouse, the Pure Owli, is smaller than the EMP. It's about 90% of the size of the EMP, and it's similar to desktop mice that you might find in an office. So the advantage straight away is that moving to this should be a fairly easy process. The size isn't that daunting, and it won't require too much readjustment of your grip. It makes a similar shape overall to the EMP. Both of these mice are from the Kone range, but with it being smaller, it is going to suit a person with a smaller hand. Now, that's not to say a larger hand would find it uncomfortable, it's just that you might need to lift your palm off the top of the surface to land your fingers and your thumb in good places to grip it. The Owli is a good choice if you're a PC gamer who likes to use the claw grip on their mouse, but for someone with smaller hands, you'll probably find it just as comfortable to use it with the palm grip as well. Neither of these mice, the EMP nor the Pure Owli, are really that good when it comes to the fingertip grip. They've got this steep arch to the body at the back of the mouse, and that's really suited to cradling the palm of your hand. If you try and use the fingertip grip, you're going to find it very difficult to rest your wrist back down on the desk whilst your fingers try and stretch to the front to click those buttons. Both of these mice feature Roccat's Pro Grip material as well, which is like this matte plastic finish that doesn't slide out of your hand if your hand happens to get a little bit warm. Other mice might use these full rubber grips down the side, but to save weight, Roccat developed something different. It is worth noting that both of these mice are extremely light. The EMP, which is the larger one, comes in at just 116 grams, and the smaller Pure Owli is just 88 grams. Moving on from ergonomics, let's have a look at some other features of these mice, and where do they differ? Well, the EMP has the one up on the Owli here. It offers a 4D mouse wheel. That's a little bit of marketing talk, so I'll break this down for you. The mouse wheel can scroll backwards and forwards like most wheels can, but also it can click to the left, it can click to the right, and it can click down as well. That's several different controls on just one point of the mouse. All of these can be assigned individually in-game to different actions as well. So if you take Battlefield 1 as the example, you could assign a down click to the mouse to activate melee. With the left click, you could reload your weapon, and the right click on the scroll wheel, you could activate your gas mask. And you've got your standard scroll wheel as well for cycling through your weapons. All of those actions just on the scroll wheel means you don't need to go reaching for keys on your keyboard, and you can keep your fingers glued to the WASD keys. The EMP also comes with DPI scaling on the mouse via 2 buttons. That's pretty standard now for gaming mice, and it's got your pretty normal thumb buttons as well, and I assign my gadgets to those in Battlefield 1. Now the pure Owleye, the smaller mouse, has a similar set of options, but it lacks that 4D mouse wheel. So you lose the left and right click options on your mouse wheel, but you retain the DPI scaling buttons and the thumb buttons, which is a good thing. I'd say really the 4D scroll wheel is better not being on the Owleye simply because it's smaller overall. That reduced size means you might not be able to keep your fingers far enough away from the mouse wheel whilst they're resting on the left and right mouse buttons. The last thing you want is an accidental click during a round. Both of these mice do have some LED illumination, which is always welcome. The EMP offers 2 side-mounted LED strips, and both of those have got 2 lighting zones on each of them, so you can really create some nice flowing colours. And the Owleye offers an illuminated Roccat logo, which gets covered when you place your hand on the mouse. So when it comes to showing off, the EMP wins, I'd say. If you don't care about lighting though, both of these mice come with software where you can turn those lights off. And lastly, something that I just wanted to clear up, despite one mouse being called the Kone EMP and the other the Kone Pure Owleye, both of them use this new Owleye sensor that Roccat has developed. Your DPI on these mice can scale all the way up to 12,000. I'm not sure anyone would need 12,000 DPI at the moment, but maybe when 8K gaming becomes a real and affordable thing, this mouse might get used to its fullest potential. If I had to pick between these 2 mice, I'm probably going to side with the EMP. That's because it closely resembles the look and the feel of my current mouse, which is the Roccat Tyon. It also has more buttons, which I've become used to as well, and the cool LED strips down the side do give it a little bit of extra swag. The Pure Owleye, however, is still a very, very good mouse, and essentially it's a slimmer version of the EMP, minus a couple of features, and it's going to suit the gamer who has a smaller hand. So there you go. Thanks very much to Roccat for sending me these mice. I'm sure they're going to go to very good use. And if you want to have a look at either of these mice in a little bit more depth, there are links in the description to their respective product pages. But until next time, my name is Westie, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.